Defibrillator in the tactics tree. This is what this power looks like. It has a base power cost of 300. And again, just to show you how to calculate this, what you do is you take off all your gear, because power costs scale on each item that you equip, and you hit a sparring target. I'm going to cast Gauss Grenade just to get me into combat. Then once it returns power, I'm going to hit Defib, and you'll see it restores 300 power. If you wanted to calculate or get your actual power cost, what you do is you put on all your gear, and then you hit a sparring target. Make sure you're in combat first, especially if it's a power that has a delay on it, and it will give you back your power. And if you have a power in tab, it'll tell you the cost, and then of course you can use it to calculate your power consumption, and then of course your rate and all that if you were trying to figure that out. This power has a 1.5 second cooldown. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in this take. This power also, in both damage and controller role, restores power to the 3 least powered members in the group. That does not include yourself. So it's not based on the appearance of the blue bar. It's not percentage based. It's based on a numerical value on the player's bar. Player with the least, the 3 in a group of 3 or more, will get the power if they are numerically lower than the other players. As far as bugs with reserve tank, that was never the case. That was just the way that the instant power heals restored power. So if you're worried about that, it is safe to use reserve tank or tank reserve, whatever that home turf mod is called. This power also gives you a personal of 77 might and 62 precision for 6 seconds in each roll. It does not stack. The buff does not stack. So if you cast it over and over and over, you only just restarted the timer from back to 1 up to 6 seconds. And I'll show you that here. In both stances, damage and controller, you'll get the buff. Now the green crosshairs under my name tag indicate that that buff is up. If you're not sure, because you have a soda up or whatever, you could always go into your actions menu, and it tells you if you just press on defib. You can also calculate it using the stats menu. You look at your might and precision, then you cast the power, and then of course you subtract. And you can do that with all the other buffs in the game to see if it's active or to see how much it gives you back. Some are based on percentage. Defibrillator is not, and neither are the other instant power heal abilities. The amount of power that it restores scales with your vitalization, and naturally controller gear has higher vite than damage roll gear. So if you're in damage roll and you're using this for any reason, just note that you will give power, but not as much as a controller player wearing controller gear. The formula for determining how much power you restore to members is on my forum thread. It's a formula, and then you divide it by the amount of players. So, but divided by 3, you get your amount. If you're with one other person in a duo or whatever instance, or you're two-manning something, the formula is then divided by, I think it's 1. So instead of 3 players, it's now 1 player, and that amount of power will be restored completely to that. So, for example, let's say the formula came out to 900. You give out 900 total power based on whatever your vite is. You then divide that by 3 for the 3 least powered members. You restore to them 300, because 300 times those 3 players is 900. Now if you're in a duo, what you do is that 900, and with that other player that you're giving power, you're hitting defib with, that 900 goes completely to them. So you restore a larger chunk of power to one other player when it's just another person. And the final bit is that you can use defib because it's a self buff and a supportive power. You can clip with it. Now note that post game update 36, all animations or most animations have a duration of 1 second or 1.2 seconds. if you hit something like Sticky Bomb or Defib, you're not speeding up anything. You're still within a 1 second animation cast. It's just that you're able to cast 2 powers now, because Sticky Bomb would be 1 second. Same with Gauss, and same with Defib. It's just that now, because you canceled the animation of Sticky Bomb or Gauss or whatever other power, and then you hit Defib, you've just shortened the time so that you're not wasting 2 seconds casting powers. You've only wasted 1 second. And I'll demonstrate that here. Here I'm casting Sticky Bomb, animation is over, then I hit Defib. That's literally 2 seconds, or very close to the 2 second mark. Now I'm going to clip Defib, Sticky Bomb with Defib. And of course the timing is shorter. And that's the same with all powers that are not channeling. Here I'll do Gauss. And then if you were not to clip, now you might say, oh well, you know, that's a second off, and a second extra is nothing. True, but sometimes, you know, depending on whether you have to pick somebody up or basically anything that goes off in a raid where you're trying to hurry up, it may come in handy if you have like maybe literally 2 seconds or something off on somebody that you have to revive, or if you're just a quick player, if you're aggressive.